Hello, adventurers, storytellers, and RPG enthusiasts. Welcome back to RPG PhD, where we imagine, improvise, and immerse ourselves in the world of tabletop role-playing games. I'm Dr. Ben, and today is a special day. Why, you ask? Because this is our 100th episode! Yay! I couldn't have done it without all of you, your comments, your likes, and your incredible support. So to celebrate this milestone, I thought we'd revisit one of the most popular and most discussed topics we've ever covered. Looking back at the stats, the video with the most views and the most comments was all about that infamous line, "It's what my character would do." Clearly, this is a subject that struck a chord with a lot of you, whether it sparked debates at your gaming table or inspired thoughtful reflection on how we play. So today, in honor of our 100th episode, we're diving back into this fascinating and sometimes frustrating topic with a deeper look, fresh insights, and more examples. Let's get to it. As we celebrate our 100th episode, I'd like to take a moment to highlight the back catalog of videos here on RPG PhD. Nearly every single video is evergreen content, crafted to remain useful and relevant for years to come. My goal has always been to create a library of advice that you find useful. We don't usually dive into the latest RPG headlines or trends. Instead, we focus on timeless strategies and insights for both players and game masters. So, if you're new to the channel or haven't explored some of the earlier episodes, now's the perfect time to dive in and see what you've missed. There's something in there for every adventurer. Also, as we mark this 100th episode milestone, I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you who has subscribed, commented, and engaged with this channel. Even if you've disagreed with me, and I have learned so much from those thoughtful discussions. Your support and involvement means the world to me. So if you haven't already, I encourage you to like, share, and subscribe. It's a small action but makes a big difference in supporting the channel and motivating me to keep bringing you new content every week. Your engagement is what keeps this community growing and thriving, so thank you for being part of it. Alright, so let's explore how we can balance staying true to our characters while keeping our games fun, collaborative, and memorable. Role-playing games offer an extraordinary blend of collaborative storytelling, immersive roleplay, and creative problem-solving. Yet one phrase can occasionally send ripples of frustration through the table. It's what my character would do. This seemingly innocuous statement, often delivered with earnest intent, can sometimes disrupt the game, create inter-party conflict, and stymie the shared enjoyment of the group. Addressing this challenge requires nuance, understanding, and tools to foster harmony between authentic roleplay and cooperative gaming. Roleplaying embodies a paradox. Like actors on stage, players must live believably within the imaginary circumstances of their characters while being aware that they are part of a larger performance, or, in this case, a game shared with others. However, while actors balance character immersion with an awareness of the audience, role players must navigate the dual demands of character fidelity and the collaborative nature of the game. This balance can be challenging. Players may feel deeply connected to their characters and committed to role-playing them faithfully. However, RPGs are inherently collaborative. Individual actions impact the group's enjoyment, and the story's progression hinges on collective participation. Thus, it's what my character would do must not serve as a justification for actions that derail the game, disrupt the group, or sideline other players. The phrase itself is not inherently problematic. At its best, it reflects thoughtful character motivation. But when this justification halts the game, causes friction, or places character-driven actions above group cohesion, it becomes an issue. Consider scenarios where players justify betrayal, sabotage, or disengagement from the group dynamic. While these actions might feel true to a character's backstory or personality, they can erode trust, strain relationships, and detract from the fun. Achieving a balance between character authenticity and group enjoyment requires intentionality, communication, and a shared understanding of the game's goals. Here are some key strategies to address this challenge. Session 0, Setting Expectations. A Session 0, the pre-game meeting where players and the game master discuss expectations, offers a vital foundation. Use this time to define acceptable behaviors for characters, establish a shared philosophy of role-playing, for example, cooperative storytelling versus pure simulation, Is the focus on character authenticity, cooperative storytelling, or a balance of both? Discuss inter-party conflict, outlining how it will be handled and its appropriate scope. What types of disagreements are permissible and how should they be resolved? During session 0, the group agrees, for example, that inter-party conflict should serve the story rather than derail it. The GM suggests a veto rule allowing any player to call for a brief pause if a conflict feels unproductive. This preemptive measure helps prevent escalations. Clear expectations reduce misunderstandings and help players align their actions with the group's goals. Encourage collaborative roleplay. Collaboration lies at the heart of RPGs. When a player invokes "it's what my character would do," frame the situation as an opportunity for teamwork. Ask the player to consider how their character's motivations can align with the group's goals. Encourage them to find creative justifications for staying engaged with the party, even if their character might logically act otherwise. In acting, performers inhabit characters bound by a script, which provides the framework for their actions and motivations. An actor's task is to find ways to justify their character's behavior within the context of the story, even when those actions might challenge their personal interpretation of the role. This justification ensures that the performance serves the narrative and flows seamlessly with the contributions of the other actors. In tabletop role-playing games, we don't have scripts to guide us, but we still share the responsibility of finding creative justifications for our characters' actions, particularly when they must navigate group dynamics. For example, an actor might portray a character with a deep-seated fear of water who, in the script, must cross a raging river to save a friend. Instead of playing the fear as an unmovable barrier, the actor explores how their character might overcome it, perhaps out of love, duty, or desperation. Similarly, in role-playing, if your character has a compelling reason to reject the group's path or distrust a specific ally, the goal isn't to derail the game, but to find a reason for them to stay engaged. Maybe your suspicious ranger agrees to journey with a thief to keep an eye on them, or your reclusive wizard stays with the party because their research aligns with the group's quest. The key lies in collaboration. Your character's actions should not only make sense within their own story, but also fit within the larger tapestry of the group's narrative. By embracing this approach, you can preserve the authenticity of your role-playing while ensuring the game remains dynamic, cooperative, and fun for everyone at the table. Focus on character growth and arcs. Conflict and tension are vital storytelling tools, but they should be stepping stones to character development. Players who embrace character arcs allow their characters to evolve through their experiences. One of the most compelling aspects of storytelling is character growth. Yet players who rigidly adhere to "it's what my character would do" risk missing opportunities for meaningful arcs. A static character, a character who remains unchanged despite their experiences, can feel one-dimensional, depriving both the player and the group of richer narrative possibilities. A player resistant to change may miss rich opportunities for growth. A paladin with a rigid code may learn the value of compromise. A thief distrustful of authority may grow to respect a lawful ally. A loner may find unexpected camaraderie in the group. By focusing on character evolution, players can remain true to their characters while contributing to the story. Reframe problematic choices. Instead of outright prohibiting certain character actions, encourage players to think in terms of yes and. This improv technique promotes forward momentum. Yes, my character despises orcs and they will join this party to keep an eye on them. Yes, my character would normally leave this group and they will stay because they believe their mission outweighs personal grievances. This approach fosters both character authenticity and group cohesion. Instead of viewing "it's what my character would do" as an obstacle, frame it as an opportunity for collaborative storytelling. Encourage players to find ways their character's motivations can align with the group's goals. A paladin refuses to work with a morally ambiguous warlock. Rather than leaving the party, the paladin decides to stay and mentor the warlock, hoping to guide them toward redemption. This compromise maintains both characters' integrity while enriching the narrative. Encourage meta-awareness. Remind players that while they embody their characters, they remain the ultimate decision makers. A character's backstory or personality traits are tools for storytelling, not constraints. Acknowledge the impact of their actions on the group. Encourage choices that move the story forward rather than halting it. Handle conflict with the right magnitude. Aristotle's concept of magnitude underscores the importance of proportion in storytelling. In the context of RPGs, conflict should be significant enough to matter, but not so overwhelming that they dominate the game. Resolution should be timely, avoiding both rushed conclusions and tedious prolongation. Interparty conflict is not inherently bad. When handled with care, it can enrich the narrative and deepen character bonds. Facilitate open discussions. If conflicts arise, pause the game to discuss them openly. Or have a conversation after the game. Explore the motivations behind the character's actions. Seek compromises that respect the character's integrity while preserving group dynamics. Use NPCs or other narrative devices to guide the story in a productive direction. NPCs and other narrative devices can be powerful tools for keeping the story on track when player choices or character conflicts threaten to derail the game. NPCs as extensions of the game master can offer guidance, provide alternative solutions, or present compelling reasons for characters to collaborate. For example, if a rogue player's selfish actions start to create tension in the party, an NPC mentor might intervene, appealing to the rogue's better nature or pointing out the long-term consequences of their behavior. Similarly, a wise and neutral character, like a trusted ally or respected authority figure, can serve as a mediator, helping the group find common ground without breaking immersion. Narrative devices can also nudge the story forward in a way that encourages cooperation. For instance, a shared threat like a looming natural disaster or a powerful enemy can unite the group by presenting a problem that requires collective effort to overcome. Alternatively, in-world consequences can create a sense of urgency or dependency, such as a village only agreeing to offer aid if the group works together to solve their problem. These techniques keep the story productive and engaging while maintaining the integrity of the narrative and allowing characters to grow through their challenges. One of the most important aspects of immersive role-playing is recognizing that character actions, especially disruptive ones, have consequences within the story. If a character consistently undermines the group or acts against the party's goals, the world and the other characters should respond accordingly. Perhaps an NPC ally refuses to trust them, or their actions lead to a loss of resources or reputation for the party. Also, inter-party dynamics might shift, with other characters confronting or even distancing themselves from the disruptive character. These consequences aren't about punishing the player, but reinforcing the realism of the narrative and encouraging thoughtful decision-making. Actions, after all, shape stories, and a game without consequences risks losing the depth that makes role-playing so rewarding. Emphasize fun as the ultimate goal. Fun is the cornerstone of RPGs. Players should collectively prioritize creating an enjoyable experience for everyone at the table. GMs can remind the group that individual roleplay, while important, should not come at the expense of shared enjoyment. Navigating the paradox of the role player requires empathy, creativity, and a commitment to collaborative storytelling. Players can stay true to their characters while fostering group cohesion and enhancing the game's narrative depth. By embracing strategies like Session Zero, focusing on character growth, and fostering collaboration, RPG groups can transform "It's what my character would do" from a point of conflict into a stepping stone for richer, more meaningful storytelling. Remember, the beauty of RPGs lies in their shared nature. Every decision, every interaction, and every character arc contributes to the tapestry of the game. When players and GMs work together to balance character fidelity with group enjoyment, they unlock the true magic of the role-playing experience. And that's it for today's episode and our 100th celebration here on RPG PhD. I hope this deeper dive into the challenge of "It's what my character would do" has given you some new tools and perspective to bring your gaming table to life. Let me know in the comments, have you encountered this issue in your games? How do you handle it? I love hearing your stories, and I do my best to reply to every single comment. If you enjoyed this episode or any of the previous 99, be sure to hit that like button, share this with your fellow gamers, and subscribe for more tabletop RPG insights. Here's to the next 100 episodes of imagining, improvising, and immersing. Until next time, adventurers, happy gaming. Thanks for watching. See you next time.